It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this pleasant and solemn function organized this evening to commemorate the naming of this auditorium after one who was very dear to us, one who was amidst us still a few months before, one who represents the highest of human life and values, an epitome, an endowment of all virtues. The timeless, priceless Dr. Ashok Mehta is an inspiration to all of us, not only when he was around, even after he has departed to the world beyond. On the face of it, prima facie, it may appear that this function is highly symbolic. Beneath it is the deep connect of this institution with the past as it lives with the present and looks forward to the future with confidence and determination. History, my dear friends, is a pact between the living and the dead, between the unknown and the unborn. One can ignore history only at the peril and cost of losing his identity. In naming this auditorium after Dr. Ashok Mehta, we seek to lend permanency to the life and times and contribution of Dr. Ashok Mehta. Countless number of patrons who will visit this auditorium in the years ahead for the various performances will be triggered to know more about him, the way he lived, the causes that were dear to him, emulate him, follow the good deeds of his, and thereby serve the process of serving humankind. Dr. Ashok Mehta moved from the seen to unseen on the 18th of March 2021. He is not dead in that sense of the term. The spirit still lingers. He is around us. He has left behind a baggage of his experiences, of the countless number of institutions, organizations that he had founded, nurtured, nourished, blossomed, and sustained them over his long journey of 9 decades. In naming this auditorium after Dr. Ashok Mehta, we seek not to ensure that we erase from our memory, by passage of time, the greatness of this great and noble soul. Human memory, my dear friends, is fickle. At times it is even treacherous. Out of sight is out of mind. But Dr. Ashok Mehta was entirely different. No one returned from his effulgent presence without a broad smile on his face and a satisfaction of having achieved the purposes for which he had touch based with Dr. Ashok Mehta. His shoulders were broad enough for anyone to lean at any time of distress or anguish. He was like a cool breeze on a warm, sunny day. At a macro level, at the national level, Dr. Ashok Mehta stamped infinity on the thought and process of this nation and added to the reservoir of goodness of this blessed land of ours. He continues to be a living tradition. Separation is a wound no one can heal, but remembrance is a gift no one can steal. It is this gift of remembrance that we are using today as we pay encomiums to Dr. Ashok Mehta. We come across countless number of people in our life journey. The eye lens captures them all. For a fleeting second, they vanish with the same speed with which they are captured by the eyes. There are still a few who linger around for some time and then move away from memory. There are still further few who are contemptuously thrown out from memory for the way they lived and the deeds that they performed. There are very few, microscopic minority, who travel down the iris of the eyes and come down to seek a permanent place in the hearts and minds of people. One such noble soul was Dr. Ashok Mehta. The scriptures say that there are 4 types of people in this universe. Raja Bhartahari says, Ete satpurushaha parartha katakaha samanyasu udyama bhutaha te api manusha rakshasaha parahitam swardhyam nindandihe. And then the long verse concludes by saying, Teke na jani mahe. There is this category of people who do good to others, even at the cost of their own good. Te satpurushaha, they are the best amongst people. There is the next category of people who do good to themselves. Even as they do good to others, they are also good. And then the verse says, Manusha Rakshasaha, who are demon amongst people, who do good to themselves at the cost of others' good. And last is a category, Tekena Jani Mahe, no one knows about them, who neither do good to themselves, nor does good to others, a dog in the manger. There is an English verse which captures almost the same thought. The echo is almost the same. That there are three types of people in this universe. One would turn up their sleeves, one would turn their nose, and one would never turn up. Dr. Ashok Mehta was ever in a state of preparedness, in the literal sense of the term of having rolled up his sleeves, waiting for people to come so that he could be of service to them. Today is the birth anniversary of Dr. Ashok Mehta. If he was alive, he would have turned 90 years. In the tradition that was set by his friends, well-wishers, institutions, and other followers of Dr. Ashok Mehta, we used to meet on the 22nd of November each year. Not just for fun, revelry, and food, which of course was there, but to raise funds for noble causes. And in the same tradition that was set during Dr. Ashok Mehta's time, both Dr. Bharat Pathak and Kokilaben have ensured that the tradition continues. This year, both of them have enlisted the support of several of you in raising a large sum of money, 75 lakhs of rupees, to be donated to the Sri Shanmukhananda Community Charity Hospital for the services that are rendered in community health care by this institution. This hospital was inaugurated recently by the Sabha. It was set up in a plot of land, and its own building not far away from this main building of ours. That building was remodeled and reconditioned to be made into an hospital. It costed the Sabha 19 crores of rupees to completely do up a state-of-art hospital. But what is gratifying is that not one penny was given by the Sabha. The entire 19 crores was funded by large-hearted individuals, CSR funds of corporates, and well-meaning citizens. To that large sum of money which has gone into the construction of this hospital, today we have the privilege of receiving yet another large sum of 75 lakhs in the name of Dr. Ashok Mehta. There are two main activities which are the front activities of our Sabha in community health care. One is the dialysis center and the second is the eye care. As far as dialysis is concerned, this center that we have created is the second largest in the country. So imagining a cultural institution, one that perpetuates only art, to set up facilities in community health care of the size and the dimension that we have set up would make one believe that this institution goes beyond the music to address the ailments of the mind. What is interesting is that we charge only 50 rupees for a dialysis procedure. Practically nothing, it's only a token sum that we are raising. And even that, from the beginning of next financial year, we are thinking of withdrawing even that 50 rupees that we are charging per patient and would probably declare the dialysis center as billing free. We will be doing 50,000 procedures a year, which is by far one of the substantial dialysis procedures that are being done in the country. This contribution that has come from the friends and well-wishers of Dr. Ashok Mehta, I am sure, will bring smile on the face of this poorest of poor patients who throng our medical center. And their blessings will endure not only for the institution, but also for all those who have contributed to this great cause. Statues and busts and naming are all required for ordinary little young people who are in piteous dread of abortion of their counterfeit celebrity status. They never perish who live in the hearts and minds of people. In fact, they become deathless institutions from ordinary mortals as they move away from the physical plane. And then their influence becomes the warp and woof of the thoughts and aspirations of the succeeding generation. They carve for themselves a niche in the rocky temple of reverential gratitude. Today's function is an expression of that gratitude to this noble soul. In its institutional journey of 7 decades, the Shanmukhananda Fine Arts and Sangeeta Sabha has adopted the name of God, Godmen, and great people, both for its institutions and its activities. In fact, the name of the institution itself is after Lord Shanmukha, Lord Kartikeya. The majestic auditorium, which is one of the largest auditorium in the country, is named after the Shankaracharya of Kanchi, Mahaswami Pujya Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, the 68th Shankaracharya of the venerated Kamakoti Peetham. If you go around this institution, you will breathe and see for yourself M.S. Subbulakshmi. This Mahavidushi of our time, this nightingale of music, Bharat Ratna M.S. Subbulakshmi, lives in this institution. It is to be seen, to be believed, that she is the heart and soul of this institution. To that galaxy of God, great people, today we had Dr. Ashok Mehta. I am sure his blessings will endure for this institution for times immemorial to come. The greatest tribute, the Shraddhanjali that we can ever pay to Dr. Ashok Mehta is to lead the life that he led. Follow those principles and values that were very dear to him and cherished by him, and espouse the causes that were dear to him. Then we can lay claim to being the true followers of Dr. Ashok Mehta. May the good Lord shed His grace on all of us. May He enable us to draw a leaf from the life of nobility of Dr. Ashok Mehta and make our lives sublime. Thank you and God bless.